Is underway in federal court as a judge probes the New Orleans Police Department's handling of the investigation into Officer Jeffrey Vappie.
A Lee Zurich investigation found Vappie spent long hours both on and off the clock with Mayor Cantrell inside the city-owned Upper Pontalba apartment. David Jones joins us live at federal court. David.
Yeah, Deputy Superintendent Lawrence Dupree is now on the stand. Dupree confirmed that last December, then NOPD Superintendent Sean Ferguson, one of his last acts while in office was to ask for Vappie to be reinstated onto Mayor Cantrell's executive protection team while the investigation was still ongoing. Dupree said he didn't feel comfortable doing that. He then asked interim Superintendent Michelle Woodfork once she took over, and she put a stop to that once Ferguson had stepped down. Now, Dupree is the second witness today. The first was Lieutenant Lawrence Jones. Jones and another NOPD detective oversaw the Vappie investigation as part of the Public Integrity Bureau, or PIB, which is NOPD's Internal Affairs Division. Consent decree monitors are making the case that PIB dropped the ball and didn't adequately investigate payroll fraud. Jones said on the stand that they were not able to find evidence of payroll fraud or nepotism because there's no way to know what Vappie was doing inside of the Pontalba and no policies governing his actions. The NOPD says it's addressing the lack of oversight for the executive protection team. Vappie was in Lee Zurich's Outside the Office series, in which it was shown the NOPD officer was spending significant amounts of time alone with Mayor LaToya Cantrell, both on and off the city clock, inside of the city-owned Pontalba apartment. The series also showed Vappie was appointed to the board of the Housing Authority of New Orleans, or HANO. When Lieutenant Jones was asked about this time on the HANO board, he said during their interviews with Vappie told investigators that he believed he could serve on the HANO board because the mayor told him he could. Today, the mayor maintained bias is being shown by the federal consent decree monitors, pointing to testimony last week from Captain Kendrick Allen, who said he was asked by monitors to investigate and sustain a payroll fraud allegation.
One of our officers was asked to move forward based on information, again, that was not fact, and that is unethical. When you investigate, it has to be looking for facts, not allegations. What was clearly stated on public record was that our officer was asked to do something unethical.
The PIB investigation found 3 violations. A violation of the 1635 rule, which says an officer cannot work more than 16 hours and 35 minutes per day. The investigation also found Vappie violated a professional conduct rule for spending so much time alone with the mayor while off the clock. Now, Deputy Chief Keith Sanchez, who runs the PIB, has now taken the stand. The city has begun questioning him on standard PIB practices, and then the Department of Justice will have its chance to cross-examine. For now, reporting live at federal court, David Jones, Fox 8, Local First.